There we go. Hello and welcome, everyone. It's Mary June Tracy here, coming to you with the 411 of the shenanigans of As Above, So Below. Yeah, it is. It's interesting energies right now that are playing out. And the energies that are playing out right now is that we have Venus, which has just nuzzled up to the North Node with Neptune and the moon's there. So we have a stellium that is in there in Pisces and this Piscean energy. And this Piscean energy can be very you can get lost in it very easily. Like you can I mean it's a beautiful place. You can get into some really beautiful beautiful energy. Yet you can get very lost in it. And this is where things working that don't. Things that you that if things are going well, just leave it the fuck alone, right? Trying to tweak it or thinking that, oh, it's got to be better, or it's got to be this, or it's got to be that. I got it. I was doing it this morning with everything. And it's just like, no, you just have to do what you have to do and just get on with it. And this is letting, things go. And if you're just sitting there hoping for a miracle, oh, I just hope for a miracle. I just hope for everything to go well. You know, again, then you're getting lost in the delusion of what or what Pisces is. And you're going by your subconscious. And the subconscious right now can get you lost in many different directions and thinking that, oh no, you got to do it this way because you've always done it that way. And that's the big part about this is that getting lost in your delusions. And that's where you can really self sabotage yourself with things and finding those old patterns and thinking that, oh, this is great. This situation's good. This is, it's kind of familiar. That's where you got to stop, right? Just stop, take a step back and really take a look and saying, "Oh, okay, why okay, this does seem like something that I always do, but what does that look like? What does that mean?" Right? And it's really looking at the self-sabotaging that you do and be willing to see the patterns that we go through. And that's a huge process for 2025 is seeing the patterns that you are going through, seeing that routine that you're constantly doing. This is what I always do. It has to work. I've always done it this way. My analogy is there's the story of cooking the turkey, right? And there is where the grandmother always cut the turkey in half and then put the turkey in the oven. And so of course the mother saw it that way. And the daughter was gonna do it the exact same way, and her husband goes, "Why are you cutting the turkey? Just put it in." "Well, that's the way we always did it." And he's like, "Well, okay, but why do you guys always do it?" She goes, "I don't know. It's because we always did it." So he goes, "Well, I don't know. Let's just ask." He goes, "I'm just curious of why you guys do it this way." And ask the mother, and the mother goes, "Oh, no, it's just the way that we've always done it. We've always done it this way. Why should we change? We've always done it this way." And finally, grandma's sitting in the corner there, and they go and they're like, "Hey, grandma, why did you cut the turkey?" She goes, "Because it was too big to fit into my oven." you know? And it's just like, oh, she had a smaller oven. And so she cut the turkey, of course, because it'll fit in the oven. But just because everybody's always done that doesn't mean you have to continue to do that. Just because it's something of a routine and this is what everybody's always done doesn't mean you have to do it that way. And that's part of the subconscious. The subconscious is something that is there. It runs in the back. We don't always notice what it's doing, but it's running. And it's getting you to like, oh, well, we always drink this type of water, or we always eat breakfast at this time. And this is where things are going to get where it's like, well, why don't we start something a little different, right? Be willing to see the patterns we go through and let go of all the details, the way it needs to look. We got to let go of the way it needs to look. If that's the way you need it to look like every single time, you're going to get lost, right? Like it's that FOMO, fear of missing out, and the regret. Oh my god, I'm going to regret the guilt, the shame, the blame because I didn't do it this way. And that's where Neptune can really get you lost. It's like somebody who does cocaine, just hypothetical here. Someone goes out and it's like a newfangled drug that comes in. Well, I always do this, so I could do that. No, no, that's not it either. This is where you're going to be creating something within the new and doing something just because you want to glorify it, you want to make it better in some way. It's like, no, this is where that divine timing, this is where that stepping back and really saying, okay, hang on, I got to just look at this in a new way. I'm not just going to fall into it. I'm not just going to run into it. This is where that, past life conditioning, especially in Pisces, can get you lost. And Pisces is very easy that you can forget things and find it like because you get into that mystical, magical, Hotel California, right? Where the Hotel California, no one ever leaves. And you just go in and just everything is just, it just seems so wonderful. Why am I going to leave here? Right. So you can get caught into that illusionary pattern. And as you look at the world around you, there's a lot of people that are stuck in the Hotel California. They don't want to leave that pattern. They don't want to leave that that energy. It's just, well, this is the way that we always done it. This is the way we're going to do it. Maybe if I'm just going to spiff myself up a little bit more, and it's just going to make it more glorified, more whatever. And this is where it's like, no, I got to take this step back. I got to pull myself out because I want to have a new outlet. I want to have a different way of doing it or a more creative way of doing it. This is where I need to step into the learning, the understanding. And that can bring in frustrations. That can bring in where fear, anxiety, because all of a sudden you're asked to change the way that you do things. You're asked to look at things in a new way. Years ago, when I was, all of I was raised very, very Catholic. I'm going to say very strict Catholic in many ways, in different, very strict Catholic. Yet everybody in my family was psychic, but we just didn't tell anybody that that's what we were. So it was really odd. But anyways, there was a part of me that was wanting to, wanted to break away. I want to explore other avenues. I was always called to the moon. I was always called to, when I saw little witchy things online or little witchy books and stuff like that, I was drawn to them and I wanted to know more about it. But yet a part of me was saying no, because that's not the way you do things. That's not how you got to do it this way. This is the way that you have to do it. And then you get to a point where you can get extremely like wanting to just fuck it all. I don't want to hear any more about that. That's all. And then just base it like everything else. Is wrong. Right. I learned, everything I learned was wrong. And I remember going on a women's retreat and there was a woman there and it was a spiritual retreat. There was all these different things about shamanism and goddesses, and then there was a woman who came in and wanted to teach the rosary and do a rosary walk, and something inside of me was like, how dare she, how dare she, you know come here, like that doesn't belong here, like this is my way of thinking, that doesn't belong here, I don't want it here, because it was a face of reality. And then I did a labyrinth walk in there was a full moon that weekend. So there was a beautiful labyrinth out there, and we did a full moon walk in the labyrinth. If you're able to do that, if you're able to get out into a labyrinth and do a walk, If you can do it under the full moon, absolutely beautiful. If you can't, hey, that's it's still wonderful. But I was feeling all that pent up anxiety and energy. And my mom had recently passed away as well, too. And it came to me that, and it was like my mother as I'm walking, because you go into a meditative state as you're doing this, said, don't throw away your past. There are things in there, there are elements in there that are good. It's not all bad. And this is where, you can get caught up in the crazy delusional of this is the way it is. This is the way it has to be because it always has been. And then go to a point where it's like, fuck it all and throw it all out with baby in the bathwater instead of taking that objective view, that step back, right? And taking that step back. And as you are taking that step back, you're being able to come into that creativity. You're able to look at, okay, some of these patterns, no, they don't align, and that's okay. Some of these patterns, yeah, those are good things. Those were very helpful things. They grounded me. They helped me to connect with the moon. They helped me to connect with more of nature. But when we're sitting there and we're just like, no, and that's where this energy can come in. And throw everything out, that's where I think people can get very lost. So we want to keep things very simple, very attainable, and not overreacting over situations, places, people, things, etc. This is where we want to look at it in a more objective way, because this is where we got to trust the process, because this is all in divine timing. This is a year of divine timing. As I've said, this is a year of forgiveness and looking at that. And just in this week, how much craziness has come in? How much craziness? I bet you if I went on YouTube and I looked at things about the tariffs and everybody freaking out about the tariffs, or I go on and I could find out things about what's happening in England or France, the craziness that is going on. And this is where it's like, no, I got to take the step back. Where am I releasing? Where am I allowing for new growth to come in, for that new branch to be sprouted, for my curiosity to be sparked? And how can I do this in a healthy, vibrant way? How can I do it in a way that brings in goodness and health and love and abundance? And this is where, I've been playing this morning on DeepSeek. Um, and I downloaded, so I have the app and everything. And it's like, oh, some people are just so afraid of it. And I'm like, yeah, but it's kind of fun. It's kind of like a little oracle in many ways. I thought if oh I'm just thinking of the oracles in the past of how they used to scry and stuff like that. What would they use today for scrying? They would use AI. Right? So, in the different methods and stuff for scrying, and it's like, oh, we have a whole, like, you hear people, they ask Alexa's blah, 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 and comes up with this answer, right? And you're just like, what? You know? It's like though, um, when they used to scry and do the scrying and the information would come in and it wasn't just with how do you explain this, Mary? It wasn't just with the scrying when they did a lot of their outlook for the future. They also used cycles and patterns of the planets and the alignments of the planets and how many cycles the planets do, and that when they come to this certain cycle within this pattern, and it happens every so often, this is what happens. So we're in one of those cycles, right? Where we know how, we know the energies or the feelings of these frequencies that are coming in. And it's how we are utilizing the revolutionary energy. I mean, we're in revolutionary energy right now. How can we revolutionary our energy for our lives and going forward? There is where people can go down the doom and gloom, and there's nothing there for them, or there's nothing left for them, and life is always going to be poverty. And I'm like, okay, I've gone down that route many times, but this is where it's like, okay, I can continue going down that route, and I know the ending. Or I can start coming in and start looking in things with new inspiration, new ideas, and new ways. It's a discipline, and that's what the subconscious loves. Subconscious loves discipline. It loves organization. It loves order. It does, because that's what it's run off of. Things that have been repetitive within your life, things that you've repeated over and over again. I always go to the corner store and buy the milk here. I don't want to go to the corner store over there because it's, another block down. I always go there. And every time I go there, I always run into this person, or I always run into that person who annoys me. Well, okay, let's take it around and let's go the extra block and see what happens. A new view, new idea. And that's going to help for you in when you are creating and sketching out this newness of your world. Now, today I was I'm going to be recording the workshop, and it's going to be recorded. If there's any workbooks or anything like that, those are going to be extra if people want to purchase, and I'm going to be mentioning them the throughout the workshop that I'm going to be recording. The recording will come out tonight. I'm hoping if I can get it all uploaded and everything edited up tonight, or sometime tomorrow. The workshop's $35. If you want the workshop, and I'm going to stress this for people, if you want the workshop, it's $35. You got to pay for it. God help me. You got to pay for it. This is my living. And I'm going to stress that again. It's my living. It's great that you tell me you want it, but if you haven't paid for it, it's one of those things. Like, I know many of you know me, and you know me personally, and I love that. And you know that I'm very generous and I love to help people. This is a very hard thing for me to do, because in order to run a business, like, so if you went on another platform and you wanted to have that workshop or that course, before you get it, you got to pay for it, right? It's a way, or wait till you get the money to get it. So the course is $35. I'm keeping it very reasonable. It's going to be, I'm going to say 2 hours or so. It's not going to, I'm hoping to keep it under 2 hours so that people can watch it. There's going to be meditations on there. There's going to be where we're going to talk on how to sketch things out. I'm going to bring in different, um, different sites you can use, like Canva. There's another one called Notions, DeepSeek. I don't have DeepSeek on my computer. I have it on my phone, have the app on my phone, probably can put it on my computer as well. Um, and there's also where utilizing different other different places like Pinterest and stuff like that. So showing how you can utilize all of these different sites for free and what aligns and works for you. And I'm going to go through some of these sites step by step, show you different things that you could do in them, and then flip over to Canva. I do like Canva, and show what you can do on Canva in creating your sketchbook. You can call it a sketchbook for 2025. You can call it a vision board for 2025. So this is going to be, and I'm crossing my fingers because this is part of my new learning, my new way of a series of creating different workshops. This one is in alignment with the embolic. So we're going to talk a little bit about the embolic and the wheel of the year, and working with that wheel of the year with our Gregorian calendar. This is helping us to create a new flow for ourselves, and how it looks for ourselves, and how we can embrace the changes that are coming in this world, that are coming in our time. And even though some of the things that we are wanting to create may not happen right away, we have to allow for that divine timing. We have to allow for that flow to happen. And for those who have signed up for the workshop, and I know many of you wanted it live, but many of you told me the very last minute. It's like Friday night is not time to tell somebody you want to take the course when you've been sitting there waiting for people to sign up. Or Thursday night and the course is Saturday. It's just, yeah. I'm going to have to you have to tell deadlines. That's the next thing is that, see, learning new things. I have to put deadlines. The deadline for signing up for this is here. You have to let me know if nobody signs up by this date. It's, it's not happening, or I'm changing it in a different way. That's what happened with this one. So I'm changing it in a different way. I am going to be recording it, and then I will send it out to those who are wanting it. And it's, as I said, it's $35. I've looked at courses like this where some of them are free, but they're not free because they get you in for the first bit. And of course, there's something you sign up with afterwards, and then it's like $100, $200 or something like that. So, or whatever. So I have that. So if you're at that, let me know. The other thing is the divine timing. The divine timing I'm doing starting March 2nd to March 29th. It is each day I'm going to be coming on. I'm going to be doing a recording. I'm going to be sending it out for people so that if some days I'll be live, and for that group, and they can join me live, or they'll receive the recording. But a lot of this, I'm going to be recording it, and then I'll be sending it out to the people who have registered for the divine timing, 21 days. So this is creating, with the divine timing, each day is a new type of prayer, new type of meditation, bringing in even where I'm hoping to get down to the United Church downtown here, because they have a labyrinth inside. So I'm not sure if the church is still open to the public, because I know for a time a lot of churches closed down, and anyways. So I'm going to check that out and see when the labyrinth is open to go and take a labyrinth walk and bring you with me on this labyrinth walk. And so I want to do different settings, different scenarios for you on this divine timing, so that we are able to allow ourselves to go again with that flow. This is the year of the snake. We got to allow ourselves to move in new ways, in new directions. And this is giving us the steadfastness, the sturdiness of bringing in a balance, which is a good thing, because we need to bring in that balance. So bringing in that balance into our lives, and the balance is going to be different for everybody and how it needs to look. So we have those things, and the divine timing one is $88, or you can split it up into 2 payments of $44 each. It's up to you. And I need for people to register for that. I'm going to give them, it's February. Rabbit. I know people are like, "Oh, you're crazy, lady." Yeah, I know. So it's February 1st. We're going to be starting March 2nd. I'm going to give everybody till the 23rd of February to register. So if you haven't, and I'm going to be making a little poster and everything else up with that. So you have till the 23rd of February to register for that, and let me know if you're going to pay. And the payment has to be in by the 23rd, either the $44, and then, because you can do the 2 payments, or the full $88. So if you're wanting to do that, yeah, setting out on a new course in a new direction. It's exciting. It's exciting. So let's bring in some cards today. I still have my angel cards here. So we're going to do the angel cards. So setting this all up. So after this, I'm going to go into my recording studio. I sound so professional. I'm going to go into my recording studio and start recording the Embolic 2025, sketching your new year. and doing that. These are so, I always say this, these are so big. They are big. Usually I pull from the top, but I don't feel like pulling from the top today. There we go. So I pulled out 3 cards. First card, 6 of Earth. Well, the 6s are all about balance. What kind of balance are we having within our life, in our mundane world? So it's the Earth, it's the Pentacles. So this is like, looking at opportunities, bringing in the opportunities, bringing in the gifts of what the Earth has to provide for you. And this is receiving and allowing yourself to receive what you need to receive, and allowing yourself to distribute, to let go of. So this is a give and a take when we have the 6. So it's what we are bringing forth, the prosperity, the abundance, the health, the wealth, and then allowing us to, okay, how can I redistribute some of this? How can I give this out to others? And in doing that, we have the 7 of fire. So the 7 of fire is like, we have these wands coming in, and it's after sort of the balancing part, but this is where it's like, okay, I know what I'm doing. I'm bringing in this balance, but not everybody's going to like it. Like, it's the 7 of wands. Not everybody. I'm going to have to defend. I'm going to stand. I'm going to have to defend, and it's going to be, it could be difficult because not, I'm going to have things said to me, or people not liking what I'm doing, but I'm defending because I know what I'm doing. I can feel it. I know it's in positivity and it's in love. And I'm going to choose things wisely. I got to choose the direction and the people I want to battle. Some people aren't even worth the time to battle, aren't even worth the time to say anything to them. You just like, thank you. And Toulon, they're not worth the time. I had that the other day when somebody came in and he's an old guy. Anyways, there's an old guy coming into the store, and he was like, rah, 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 Trump, and look at what he's doing. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, oh, yeah, that's what. It wasn't worth the engagement. It wasn't worth the conversation, right? So that's where you got to look at that balance. This isn't worth my energy. This isn't worth my time, right? I'm going to use my passion for something that's creative and loving and caring for myself. And in doing that, we get the star. The star comes out after the tower, right? So the star comes out, and the star is saying, okay, I want to make things. I want to give you opportunity. I want to bring forth positivity. We know, right? We know what you've gone through. It's like where you sometimes feel like God is sleeping. He's not paying attention to me. Doesn't he know what's going on? Or the goddess, or whomever you have as your creator. It's like, don't they know? Look at what's happening in my life, and you're going through all this craziness and this tragedy and whatever it is. And then comes this beautiful energy and says, well, what do you want? Let's make a wish. Let's change it. You don't want it this way. Let's trust. We're bringing you into a new way, right? And this is for long-term plans. This is about long-term plans, because we just went through the tower. We just went through crazy, or we might be still going through the crazy. But this is saying we're going to look at the balances that we need to have in our life. Look at the battles that are needing that we need to participate in, and ones that we don't need to participate, things we do need to defend, and other things like, well, whatever, you know, because we are looking at our long-term plans. We are looking at that of what we are wanting to create. Love it. Love it, especially today, since I'm going to be going in and recording the embolic for you all. So let me know if you're interested in the workshop, and I will talk to you all later. May the Lord and Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you. If you're needing to pay by Visa or MasterCard, let me know. I can send you a link, and it goes through my Square. So blessings, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Boop. See ya. Still here. Ending.